What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be talking about, I'm going to actually rename this tier right now to season defining. We are going to be talking about the best, well, all of the cards in season 7, and we are going to be ranking them. We're not necessarily ranking them worst to best. So, we got season defining cards. These are cards right here that define the season. Not necessarily the best cards in the game. Some cards that honestly may be worse in game than guys in good, but meh might be anti season defining. These are the cards you'll remember. So this isn't going to be, for example, like, I'm trying to think of a hypothetical situation. Let me just chuck, I'm trying to think who would be season defining. Basically, if there's like say a budget player that every single player ran, or a free card that changed the way everything worked, they would be in season defining rather than one of the other tiers. But Aaron Gordon, good but meh. He's in good but meh. And again, we've got like we got a lot of these cards to go through. Like, I need to go through about even if I go through 3 a minute, it's still going to be 40 minutes. So there's like 150 cards out here. So which I spent about 15-20 seconds per player. Pogashevsky, this is a tough one. I don't know whether to put him in season defining or budget beast. Because he was God. Like, he was unreal. I think more people nowadays, I'm not seeing many people running him nowadays. He was so good when he came out though. I'm gonna say he's definitely not unusable in comp. He's maybe on next gen. I'm going to put him in season defining for the reason that he was a 7-foot tall point guard or a small forward, and we've gotten a bunch of them this season. He's kind of the first of those. But he's one of these two tiers. Alex English, I mean, he was free, so I'm going to say budget beast. For his time, he was great. Especially because he was very easy to get. Like, I think I've got like 9 Gary Harris's this season, like 8 Emmanuel Mudiay's. Like, he's basically free. He's good. Iverson. Only use if you liked him in real life. Simple. Alvin Adams. He's somewhere between budget beast and good but meh. I'm gonna say good but meh. Yeah, he's a 70 badge, but he's only okay. He's only okay at this stage in the game. Amari Stoudemire, good but meh. I actually don't mind him. He's one of the more underrated awards. Andre Iguodala, filler card. Literally just filler card, like worst version of the Opal. Anthony Davis, usable in comp. He's definitely was not a season defining card, but he's a lot of people's centers. And he was like a power forward. I'm pretty sure my opponent used him in power forward in a tournament, so people do really like AD, especially with how comfortable they were with the Opal. He's basically just like a juiced up version of that. So yeah, usable in comp. Anthony Edwards. I'm not going to put him in good but meh. Because he's like expensive. Well, like 80k is expensive. So I'm going to say only put, if you like him in real life, use him. Bailey Howell. I'm going to say usable in comp. I think Bailey Howell is supremely underrated. He's like better DeRozan / T-Mac. The problem is he can't play 2-guard. But like, I see a lot of people running like a T-Mac small forward. And in my opinion, yeah, he's an inch shorter, but like he's just a better overall card. So I'm going to put him in usable in comp. Bam Adebayo. He's free. He's definitely not season defining. He's like a poor man's Bill Russell. And since Christian Wood came out, like an even poorer man's Bill Russell. Budget beast. Ben Simmons. This is you know what? Usable in comp. I'm going to say usable in comp. This guy is basically -9 3-pointer. Better all around and less hot zones and gold range. And other than that, he's basically dark matter. And like, we say, no, he can't play point guard. Dude's the same height as Anthony Davis. He can play small forward and be your primary. Bill Laimbeer. Filler card. Bill Russell, season defining. Definitely season defining for Bill Russell. This will be the season of Bill, probably the season of Bill Russell. Like, one of the best cards, will be one of the best cards till the end of the game, especially on next gen. And it'll be still a great card at the end of the game on current gen. Bill Walton, filler card. Like, filler card. Boris Diaw, budget beast. Man, like 2K MT for this 6-8 point guard with an unbelievable release and a wide player build. You better believe he's going to budget beast. Buddy Hield. He wasn't that easy to get. Good but meh. Good but meh. Calbert Cheney. Good but meh. He's alright. Carmelo Anthony, tell me it was for XP or another card. Please tell me it was for XP. Like, oh, if you paid legal tender in the token market for this card, oh, like, he's garbage, man. Cassius Stanley, don't remember him, filler card. Chris Morris, filler card. Not quite as good as Cheney. I was expecting him. Chris Paul, again, you please tell me you only got him for XP. Like, if you got him for any reason other than XP, considering the fact there's a cheaper, way better Carmelo Anthony and a cheaper, way better Chris Paul. If you got him for any reason other than XP. Christian Wood. I'm going season defining. Everybody I see, everyone uses Christian Wood. I'm coming up against Christian Wood 90% of the games. He was a really easy card to get. He's basically a poor man's Bill Russell. I'm putting season defining. He's a card that will be remembered in this game. Chuma Okeke. He's not budget beast. He's alright. Filler. 6'6" power forward, filler card. Cliff Hagan, filler card. Corey Maggette, filler card. You know what? Corey Maggetti's actually better than I gave him credit for. He's good, but meh. Dame. Only use him if you like him in real life. He's another big name player that's not very good in game, and the exact same with D'Lo. Use him if you like him in real life. I have to put this category here because you can use these cards. Like, basically every card now that's coming out in the game is somewhat usable in game. Like, you can find a way to make it work. Like, again, as you guys saw, I lost one game by single digits and won a game by 20 using Muggsy Bogues as center. Like, you can make stuff work. So if you like any of these guys in real life and you want to use them, fire ahead. Cowens. Good but meh. He's fine. He's fine. Wesley. I really want to put Wesley Wade higher because he just cooks people. He does not belong in the filler card. Oh, he's... Screw it, budget beast. Screw it. Screw it. Wesley Wade belongs in budget beast. He cooks people. I don't know why. He just cooks people. David West. Good but meh. He's fine. DeAndre Jordan, budget beast. Again, he's an absolute budget beast. He's basically just a budget wilt. Problem is he can't play in the post. So you gotta be good with his playstyle. If you're good with his playstyle, he's a god. Boogie Cousins, I mean, 6'11" point guard. I mean, he's usable in comp on current gen. He is. I'm not the biggest fan of the card. If this card had to come out in out of position 1, I think we would have called it season defining for season 6. But I'm gonna say usable in comp. I'm happy with that one. Then we have got Dennis Rodman. Filler card, he sucked. Derrick Rose, filler card. You know what? If you evo him up and you like him in real life and you can't afford the dark matter, he's a big name, so I'm gonna say use if you like him in real life. Dikembe Mutombo, season defining. Best big center in the game. So if you don't want your center to be a primary ball handler, which is what Wiseman, KP, and Porzingis all do better, if you don't really need them for primary ball handling duties, Dikembe is the best center in the game. So yeah, he's season defining. Eddie Johnson, good but meh. Eddie Jones, good but meh. They're the same card. Elgin Baylor. I'm gonna get a bit of heat for this. If you're on next gen, he's usable competitively if you chuck even gold blinders on him. He's unbelievable. His release, he is Chicken Man. Like, his release is unbelievable. Emmanuel Mudiay, I mean, he's alright, but he was literally just a filler card to get Alex English. Gary Harris, budget beast. Gary Harris with his blinders and his good release. Gary Harris is a severely underrated card in this game. Gary Payton, good but meh. George Mikan. I mean, like, and when I put only use him if you're like making a 50s team or like a. I'm putting the first free Dark Matter in filler card. He's not as good as Amari Stoudemire. Like, he took longer to get, and he's not as good as a lot of these guys. Not as good as David West. Gerald Wilkins. I mean, if you're on next gen, he's usable in comp. If you're on current gen, he's not. So I don't know how I feel about him here. He's free, so I'll put him in good but meh because he's not great on current gen. He's just kind of another card. He's just there. Giannis. You know what? Point guard Giannis is always going to be a season-defining card. So is point guard LeBron. Look, wherever point guard LeBron and point guard Giannis come out, they will always be cards that define a season. So, as much as I rate them, I really do, they are definitely season-defining. It's a weird one. On current gen, I will say they're the two best point guards in the game. On next gen, I think Giannis is number 1. I think Batum's number 2. And if you guys don't know, if Batum had primary position point guard, he would be a 99 overall Dark Matter for anyone who's an overall snob. But then we've got Glenn. Glenn is, I mean, good but meh. He's just another filler card. Greg Anthony, I'm sorry, filler card. Or no, he's just another filler card. He's another decent spotlight sim. Greg Oden, I've never played Greg Oden before. Filler card. Hakeem Olajuwon. Only use him if you like him in real life. He's okay. He's definitely underpowered, but if you're a big Hakeem Olajuwon fan, you know what? You can get away with him. Like, he is definitely not going to be a major liability, but he'll be a slight liability. Hal Greer. Because I'm considering these budget cards, by the way, these Spotlight Sims, so I'm putting him in Budget Beast. Hal Greer in the right hands is like juiced up David Wesley. He's like better dunking and 2 inches taller Wesley Wade. That's basically what you're getting with Hal Greer. He's fun. He's a fun card to use. Harrison Barnes, filler card. I'm not even going to put Harrison Barnes because, like, obviously CB3 is an exchange award. Melo's Melo might actually be an exchange award. But I know Harrison Barnes is a token award. Wait a minute. I just realized these are exchange rewards. Filler card. Filler card. I don't know why I thought these were token rewards. So yeah, the token reward Harrison Barnes, like, literally if you got him for anything other than XP, I just don't understand why. J.R. Ryder, filler card. Jaden McDaniels, budget beast. Budget beast. Maybe not so much now, but I'm pretty sure he came out. Did he come out right before? Like, he came out whenever Anthony Edwards came out. I think he might have come out right before the Spotlight Sims came out. So he was actually a beast. Obviously, post Spotlight Sims, maybe not, but he was actually pretty good for his time. Jalen Rose, budget beast. He's left-handed Trevor Ariza. Budget beast. Not season defining, budget beast. Jamal Crawford, budget beast. He's a beast. He's a beast. And probably usable in comp on next gen. But I'm going to put him budget beast. James Donaldson, filler card. James Harden. I have to. He's better than guys in the budget beasts. But the only place Harden belongs is good but meh. Like, I could maybe... I don't think anyone would ever use a James Harden in a million years unless their name is Boo Painter in competitive. Or I don't think anyone would, like, if they're trying to put out their strongest unlimited team. You know what? Good but meh is such a bad tier. Only use if you like him in real life for Harden. And yeah, good but meh is ahead of only use if you like him in real life. But, like, these tiers have their certain names. Just because this tier is ahead doesn't mean he's not better than every player on this list, which he is. Harden is better than every player here. And I personally prefer Crawford, but it's preference. But he's better than every other player on Budget Beast. Harden is better than all of these cards right here. But I think the tier name that suits him better is use him if you like him in real life. Wiseman, season defining. Season defining, lads. 7'1" Steph Curry. That's basically 7'1" Steph Curry. Worthy, usable in comp. Really is used in a lot of people's best squads, whether it be current gen or next gen. Ja Morant. Balling in real life, so I'm gonna put him into the only use if you liked him in real life. If you're a Ja fan, you're gonna like him. He's not great. Jet Terry. I'm gonna put him in filler card. Jason Williams. I need to rename these tiers. Like, Jason Williams is a filler card. I was about to say just worst of their tier. Jackson Hayes. I mean, for his time, he was a budget beast. Obviously, he came out right before Spotlight Sims. He had a solid day where he was an absolute god tier budget center. So let's put him in budget beast. He's basically like Wiseman without the jump shot. He moves like Wiseman. Jaylen Brown. Good, but meh. I think that's probably the fairest place for him. Jermaine O'Neal, filler card. Jerry West, filler card. And again, Jerry West is better than some of these guys in some of the higher tiers. But, sorry, not Jerry West, Jerry Lucas. But, I mean, I don't think anyone's really excited about Jerry Lucas. Jerry West. I don't mind him. But is he better than, like, Dame? No. He's basically the same level. He's like a worse version of a Dame Lillard. Preference based. Like, he's a worse version. Filler card. Jimmy Buckets. Screw up. Because he is. You're gonna. I reckon. I see quite a few. I've seen quite a few Jimmys in competitive play. So I'm gonna put Jimmy in usable in comp. I don't like him, but he is. Has a name of the tier which suits him best. Embiid. I like Embiid more than most people do. I think Embiid, if you just need a center to block shots, play defense, and hit three-pointers, I think Embiid does that really well. I think he's like a poor man's Dikembe. I think he's like a D-Rob equivalent for this season. John Wall. Look, he's a filler card. He's a filler card. Jonathan Isaac. Not season defining because he came out. I do think in the fan favorite set packs, the players people were like most hyped about. Obviously, LeBron was LeBron. I don't think that LeBron defines the season. I will say that people were most excited about Pokashevsky and Thon Maker more than Jonathan Isaac, even though a lot of people do think Isaac and Thon are the two best. Josh Smith, usable in comp. Definitely not a pack defining player. Got to slip through the cracks, but a very solid player, usable in comp on both gens. Drew Holiday. I'm putting Drew in good, but Matt, I actually don't think I've used him in my series. He feels big. He actually, for a 6'3" player, if I was to have confidence in any 6'3" player on defense, it'd be Drew, because for some reason he looks about 6'6" in game. He's not bad. Dr. J. This is a tough one. I'm going to put him in usable in comp, because I think he is. I think he is usable in competitive. And by competitive, I don't even just mean like you try to play, if you're playing like My Team Madness or Players Lounge. I also am saying that as in if you are trying to go 12-0 and trying to put out the best team possible. He is usable in them settings. Kareem, filler card. Actually, you know what? Only use if you like him in real life. There's a lot of Kareem fans and they can't afford the best Kareem, so that's most of the Enshrined set is going to go into this only use if you like them in real life section. Karl Malone. How many players? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we got to just move a bunch of these players out. And the 13th player in good but meh is Karl Malone. And now we're putting the other guys back in. But we have to make Karl Malone the 13th player in that tier. Kenny Walker. You know what? I'm going to put Kenny Walker in a budget B. So many people that have just kind of recently got the game, got him as a locker code, and he's like carrying. And by so many people, I mean I watched Jesser the Laser's videos, 2K videos, and Kenny Walker's his best player. Kevin Garnett. Usable in comp. Definitely not season defining. Definitely not season defining. Was not the most OP. Was not the most hyped invincible card that came out the day he came out. Kevin Martin filler card. Kobe, that's the season defining player. Kobe is a season defining player. I like this Kobe. I think on next gen he's unbelievable. On current gen, it's a debate whether he's the best 2 guard in the game, but on next, man, you blinders up this guy, and that Kobe release, he is purely chicken man. I wish he could play point guard, but it is what it is. He's a million times better. The out of position Kobe was terrible. He's a million times better than that. Costa Antetokounmpo filler card. Porzingis wasn't season defining. He's maybe the best player on this list right now. But at the end of the day, Porzingis is just slightly better Bol Bol. And he was more expensive. So like Bol Bol is a more relevant card than Porzingis. Porzingis is just like a rich man's Bol Bol. Larry Birds. Only use if you like him in real life. And I'm going to say usable in comp, especially if you're on next gen. Like, I've been having a ton of success. Well, I had a ton of success today. I mean, it was only one game. But the guy I was playing against had, again, he had a God Squad. He had his Simmons. He had the not great, or he had the worst Dark Matter LeBron James. He had Giannis at the 2. And he had Dikembe at the 5 and someone else at the 4. But I was using Larry as a shoot. Basically, I was using Larry at point guard. But he wasn't playing point guard. He was just a spot-up shooter. And then, which I think he's unbelievable at the next gen. And on current gen. And then I was using Simmons as my primary ball handler. This one right here. And I was killing teams. So, this position set ridiculous, by the way. Yeah, I'm going to put Larry in. Usable in comp. Reusable while trying to be competitive. Larry Hughes. Filler card. Never seen anybody use him. Larry Keenan. Sorry, Larry Keenan and Larry Johnson. Both good, but meh. LeBron. Usable in comp. Great card. Like, probably not even top 20 in the game right now, but still more than usable in competitive setting. Louis Dampier. Filler card. The worst value card in my team. Lou Dort. Filler card. This Luka Doncic. Power forward Luka. I'm going to go good but meh for power forward Luka and budget beast for the other Luka. Because I've actually tried him at power forward when I was doing playing one of the games for the 12-0 run. And I did like him. I said 12-0 run, the 12-run game for TJ Warren. I actually think he's not that bad. Just like LaMelo Ball, I think 6'7". It's a little bit small for a power forward, but like, you're not holding defense anyway. And if you got tall players around, it's fine. And then obviously this card was free. I would put this Luka in season defining, but the problem is that if there was more than one, like if Luka was the start of like 2K releasing like old players, like say Quantum KD came out, if say Radioactive Kareem came out, if they gave us like, I don't know, John McLaughlin, Galaxy Opal, and you had to do a bunch of agendas for John McLaughlin to get Kareem. If something like that had came out, then I would put Luka higher, but he wasn't really the start of anything. He was just a really nice free card that everyone got. Magic Johnson, usable in comp. That's kind of where he belongs. Manu. I've seen a lot of Manu in wagers. So I'm going to put Manu in usable in comp. Even though I personally prefer Jamal Crawford, I've seen a lot more Manus than I have seen. Screw it. Manu's season defining. Not only was he the guy that everyone wanted to get first when it came to Spotlight Sims, he was the one that gave people the most torture. Because apparently that 8 layups thing on current gen was like nearly impossible. So, yeah, season defining for Manu. Michael Adams, filler. Michael Cooper, good but meh. I actually don't think he's bad. He's underrated. Michael Jordan, only use if you like him in real life, and it's the only Jordan you can afford. Because don't go for the Amethyst or Ruby Jordan, by the way. This is the, like, the good Jordans are, or the usable Jordans are the Dark Matters, the Galaxy Opal, and the Diamond. They all feel like 90% the same, so if I was to give you advice, just use the Diamond. MKG, filler. Mikal Bridges, budget, usable in comp. I think he's more than usable on next. I think he's one of the best 2 guards in the game on next gen. I wouldn't use him on current gen. But because he's usable competitively, or if you're trying to be competitive in one of the 2 gens, I'm going to do this. Just like, for example, I think Jimmy Butler's... I think on next gen, Mikal Bridges is better than Jimmy. Current gen, night and day, Jimmy's better. So, some of these guys are current gen, some are next gen, mate. Conley filler. Miles Bridges filler. It's mad that, like, unlike last season, there's a lot of decent cards in filler card. The problem is, like, for example, Miles Bridges. A 6'6 power forward that came out when, for 5k MT, you can get a better card that's 3 inches taller. Bamba, budget beast. Budget beast, lads. Absolute budget beast there for Mo Bamba. Muggsy Bogues. I mean, he made, you know why he's a season defining card? And he's going top of season defining. He made me edit a video. 2 videos. Like, I actually spent, like, normally on editing videos, like, I make sure my audio's, well, I try to make sure my audio's okay. Try to make sure the music is all kind of okay. There's no problems with that. If I take any major pauses, like of like 10-15 seconds, which I do sometimes, that I cut all of them out. And that's kind of the extent of my editing normally, because again, I'm just trying to give you guys information. But I actually like spent an hour editing a Muggsy Bogues video. Spent like an hour and a half editing it. And I also spent like 3 hours editing the speed test. So for the fact that Muggsy Bogues has made me spend 3 hours editing a single video, we're going to Muggsy Bogues in season defining. Nick Batum season defining. Oh my god, lads. If you guys don't know about Nick Batum, he is literally a dark matter point guard. And I'm just going to say, everyone's just going to be like, oh no, look, he's a pink diamond. You're just saying this. Like, no, like literally, even with all the lowest intangibles, the only reason he is a 96 overall, and it's the same with Ben Simmons, who's got like he's got literally more total stats than the other, than the dark matter, is that height affects overall with centers. So like if you're a 6'9 center, it's very difficult to get to 99 overall. And there are certain stats that like Batum has. Like Batum maybe doesn't have in certain badges. Like badges do affect overall. So like he's obviously, Batum is a point guard. He's got all the point guard badges. He doesn't necessarily have all the center badges. Like only having 85 post moves, 80 standing dunk, 88 post hook, and 80 offensive consistency. Like they're actually going to really lower your overall as a center. As well as only having like 88 rebounding and 65 hustle. Like those stats are going to lower your overall as a center, as well as being 6'9". That's the only reason. If he was primary point guard instead of primary center, he's a dark matter. Like that's literally it. That is literally it. You don't even need to mess around with stats. You literally just need to swap his primary positions. Nick Batum, god tier. Norm Nixon, filler. Oscar Robertson. I mean, screw it. I'm gonna say it. He's as good as a filler card. Nobody cares about Big O. Patrick Ewing, use him if you like him in real life. If you're a Patrick Ewing fan, if you're a Knicks fan, this is maybe the best Patrick Ewing we've ever gotten in 2K, so be grateful. Paul George, usable in comp. He's definitely one of the best 2 guys. Definitely not like a season-defining player. He's not a player that we're gonna remember when they were released. Like one of those things is like if you told like in a year's time we will remember when 2K released Kobe. That we'll remember when 2K released Wiseman. We'll remember what set Wiseman was in. We'll remember when this out of position set. We'll remember most of this set for these cards mainly. We'll remember when 2K released the ridiculous Dikembe. We'll remember when Bill Russ came. We'll remember when Pokashevsky came out. Whereas for someone like a Paul George, no one in a year, he's great. He's better than some of these guys, but in a year's time, no one will remember what set he came out in. Or very few will. Ray for Austin, filler. Ray Allen, usable in comp, god tier, not season defining by any means. God tier on next gen, now on current gen. RJ Barrett, use him if you like him in real life. I know there's a lot of Knicks fans. You know, I'm not going to say only use them because some of these guys are actually half decent like Harden. So I'm just going to say use them. I want this tier here because it's a lot of people's favorite players are in this tier in real life. And I'm just kind of bracing for the comment section. People being like, Why are you telling me to not use this player? He's my favorite player in real life. It's like, well, yeah, if you're coming for a tip, I don't know who your favorite player is in real life if you're asking for a tip. If you're coming here for my team tips. So, Robert Covington, budget beast, man. Not quite season defining. Not quite season defining. Budget beast. Robert Reed, budget beast. Oh, man. Robert Reed, my starting 2 guard. Until I got TJ Warren. He had 39 points in a game for me that I only won by like 10 points. I was playing against a guy who literally, he was there baiting lanes, but every time Robert Reed had the ball, he like basically let me go one-on-one. Robert Reed destroyed him. Robert Reed in probably 30% of my games outplayed Mikal Bridges. But yeah, he's gone budget beast. Strickland. Filler. Ronnie Hollis Jefferson, filler card. Roy Hibbert, filler card. Westbrook. Considering it was a free Dark Matter Westbrook, like if you worked for it, you could get a free Dark Matter Westbrook. So I'm going to say use it if you use him in real life, if you like him in real life. Sadiq Bey. Good, but meh. He's literally just Eddie Johnson / Eddie Jones. They're the same card, so he's got to go in good, but meh. Sarunas. Good, but meh. Plays very similar game to this James Harden. I think that Harden's better, but this is a weird one because Harden definitely does not. You know what? Screw it, Harden. You're going into usable in comp. I'm not. You are usable in comp. I don't think anyone would use you in a tough setting. Most people that use James Harden only use him because they like me alive. But man, there are so many cards that Harden is just a better alternative of that are in a lower tier. Scotty, use if you like him in real life. That's basically the Enshrine set. Serge Ibaka, budget beast, man. Serge Ibaka. He's like budget Anthony Davis. He's budget Opal AD. He's fantastic. Shane Battier, budget. Yeah, good but meh. Good but meh. He's not quite cheap enough to be in the budget beast. He's actually very good on next gen, but he's really not good on current gen, so good but meh. Shaq. Use him if you like him in real life. His Warped Reality card is so expensive. And this card is almost as good as the Galaxy Opal, who's quite expensive. And this card's way better than the Pink Diamond. So, yeah, I would say if you aren't able to get the Dark Matter, this is probably the best value Shaq you can get. Kemp. I mean, I don't know how many old Seattle Supersonics fans there are. Good. I mean, good but meh, I guess. He's not terrible. I'd be tempted with him filler. Sidney Moncrief, good but meh. I was high on him at the start, but I do like his release. He's just meh though, isn't he? Screw it. No, if I've got Oscar Robertson in filler, he's going filler. Steven Jackson, budget beast. Budget beast. I get it. Some of these guys are free. It's tough to put on budget beast, but he wasn't that hard to get, and he is a card that you're seeing a lot, like that you see quite a few people use. He's a card I use for quite a bit. He's really good. Marbury. Filler card. Steve Francis. Filler card. And there's not that many. Again, there's not that many Steve Francis fans everywhere. Steve Nash, use if you like him in real life. Really good. Really solid though. I like Nash. Steve Smith, filler card. Taylor Horton Tucker, filler card. Not quite budget beast. Thanasis, filler card. I don't know why Thanasis and Costa were in fan favorites. Then we have got Thon Maker, season defining. Season defining. He's still the best small forward in the game. People will remember when small forward Demigod Thon Maker came out. So he's in the season defining tier. Tim Duncan. I mean, he's 99 everything, so he is usable competitively, but I mean, he's one of the worst. He's the worst big man invincible card, and he's one of the worst value cards in the game at 700k. TJ Warren. This is a tough one. He's definitely either usable in comp or season defining. I don't think that many people were that high on these. They were that high on this specific one. It's not like people were as hyped as they were in the Millsap weekend. So I'm going to say usable in comp. I think that's the best tier. Tony Allen, filler card. I mean, this tier shouldn't exist. Screw it. Let's just get rid of this tier. I move Harrison Barnes into filler card. Tracy McGrady, budget beast. I used him as my 2 guard for a little bit. Actually, I didn't. I was planning on using him as my 2 guard. I used him in TTO a bit. He's basically just the Opal T-Mac, but he's better on next gen. He's basically the Opal T-Mac with steady / blinder. So he's better. He's just Opal T-Mac with better on next gen. Tyreek Evans, for me, he's season defining. On next, I've seen so many wagers on next gen, people using this guy. I've seen so many people playing with this guy. He's a free card. Like a free card, Kobe based 6'6" point guard. Like, I think when we're talking about spotlight sims, we're gonna remember Bill, we're gonna remember Manu, we're gonna remember Tyreek. Just like last year, very few people remember Brandon Ingram. Very few people remember, which is like the equivalent of, say, like a James Worthy. Very few people remember Chris Mullen or Gilbert Arenas, but everyone remembers Cam Reddish. A lot of people remember Walter Davis. Like, that's what the Tyreek Evans and Manu are. They're incredible. Tyson Chandler, token word filler card. Vince Carter, I mean, usable and competitive. Actually, screw it. Season defining. I mean, the level 40 reward always defines the season. It is always season defining. Maybe not season defining in a great way, but the fact that maybe not the card itself, but what the card represents of the level 40 in one day. So I think season defining is a good spot there for that one. Vlade. Screw it, you know, budget beast. I've seen Vlade in the right hands at point guard, and he can be demon. He can be a demon. Wes filler. Wilt, use if you like him in real life. A lot of Wilt. A lot of people want to use Wilt and can't afford. Because Wilt is either well over 100k or like 300-400k for that lock-in. And this Wilt is, it's fine. Somewhat usable. Xavier McDaniel. I mean, good but meh. Good but meh is a fair tier for him. Zach Randolph. I mean, I don't think he's a filler card. I'll put him in good but meh. And then last up, Zion Williamson. Season defining. Season defining. He's brought hype back in the game. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone says. He has brought hype back in the game. And I know this for a fact. Because again, I know a lot of people that don't really play my team. Like, I still keep in touch with a lot of people that say would have played my team that would have played my team in years past and have kind of drifted away from the mode. And I've got messages from a few of them being like, is there really a free point guard Zion? Like, of all the free cards, including the Bill Russell, the one that has gotten the most people hyped is Zion Williamson. I think this card is, without question, we'll remember this card. We will remember this locker code. So while, yeah, he's probably not as good as the guys in usable in comp, we will remember this code. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Season defining are the guys that we will remember next year. In a year's time, I reckon we'll have forgotten about all these. But they're great. So, usable and comp for this tier. Budget beasts are, well, exactly what it says in the tin. Good but meh. Really solid cards, but it's kind of boring cards. Use if you like them in real life. Big name players that a lot of people are fans of. May not be the greatest player in the world, but still definitely usable if you are huge fans of them. And then filler cards. These are just cards 2K just threw in because they had to add cards. So that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.